one of Romania's big hopes.
The cheers for Blaine Wilson. Now Blaine sat down on the vault, got a 9.25 still, but a 9.85 on the rings. He's on the parallel bars. The United States trying to hang on to their slim lead over China.
And, you know, Blaine is so dominant right now, he can actually make a few mistakes and still do very well. That's a problem right there, those extra steps.
Hand steps.
Steps on his hands, exactly. What that should do is it...
Got it.
Watch this, though. Coming up right here. Big combination. Giant double back. Very nicely done. As I mentioned, when you take extra steps in the handstand, it's just like taking a step on the floor. Not when he rocks back and forth like that, but when he actually takes a step with his hands like he did with his feet right there.
Not quite as sharp as we saw him in the American Cup. Not as dominant.
Well, he got a little bit rattled, to be honest. Right from the beginning, he got a little bit off. And he never really got his timing back down in that exercise.
Petcu's score on the still rings, a 9.60, a very solid tally for the Romanians. Blaine Wilson gets a 9.65 on the parallel bars.
I got to tell you, Al, that's pretty much an impossible score for that routine. That's too high. With the mistakes that he had, he loses what we call connection bonus, and he also has the deductions. That was too much.
And guess what? China has taken the lead. Here in Knoxville, Tennessee, after 3 rotations, basically we are at halftime, and China has grabbed the lead. Zheng, so strong on the rings, will sit out the next 2 rotations. China only came with 5 athletes, so it means that they'll count all 4 scores. No margin for error in maintaining that lead. Lihui now on the P-bars, American bar, Romanians on the vault, and even his teammates here, Tim, grimace at one of his release moves. It's so painful looking.
Well, what happens with the new code of points, you have to do these major release skills on the parallel bars where you're landing on your upper arms. And if you don't land perfect, it really does smart. Just like that. You notice he has that bandage on. He doesn't just do it once. That one hurt a lot more than the first one, I got to tell you, though. Didn't quite get it around enough. So he's landing on the top of his arms, which is much more painful.
Have to land your dismount, though.
Yeah, I tell you.
Skills in the middle.
Probably seeing some stars there at the end of that routine.
It's like someone's going to write a book on Chinese gymnastics in the early 90s, and the title is going to be "You Have to Hit the Dismount."
You notice that pounding on the upper arms and shoulders, it can really be quite painful.
When you hit and when you take the bandage off, he has 2 sores on his arm that are absolutely raw. There's got to be days when you just don't feel like doing it.
You just want to go up to the coach and go, you know, can I leave that out today? But you really can't.
Beth Ruyak is getting an up-close look.
Al, when he came down and took the bandage off his arm, he looked at them and said, oh, that's not so bad. They're not bleeding so bad now. But they are real red, and apparently they have been like that for over a month. They have not been able to heal because he continues to train and perform as he is today.
Low score, 8.85, and what we're determining here is that gymnasts have a little hockey player in them. You've got Lihui competing with the raw arm sores, and here's John Roethlisberger, who certainly looked as though he did something to an ankle or something in his leg earlier in the competition, but he's pressing on now.
The ankle problem really shouldn't affect John on the high bar here. His next event, floor exercise, that'll be a bit of a different story, but John's had a bit of a problem adjusting to the new code of points. Very tricky to get these bonus points, and he's a little bit of a struggle right there. That's going to cost him about 1/10 of a point, and that's too bad right there. An element he was supposed to go over the bar and just came out a little bit too early. Yeah, this is a bad exercise for John. He's not going to be happy with this one.
Gymnastics just isn't fun right now for John Roethlisberger.
Well, it looks like he got almost a little bit confused. He had to change his routine because he didn't get over the bar, and because of that, he's losing connection and losing additional elements that would earn him some bonus points. It's going to be a low score.
Now, the Romanians could use some good news. They're in danger of falling well out of the competition. This is Dorin Petcu.
Planning a very big vault, start value at 10.0.
Until a couple years ago, this vault had never been seen. 2.5 twisting Sukahara. Oh! Once again, doesn't look that hard, but I got to tell you, that is really, really difficult stuff.
Why?
Well, what he's doing on this vault, very, very good gymnasts have a hard time doing a laid-out Sukahara with 2 twists. He's actually doing 2.5 twists off of the horse right here, and it's a blind landing on top of that. Basically, he is just going all out until he hits.
9.7. He's a little tan from their training session in Venezuela. John Roethlisberger's score is the reason he's so upset. 8.85. And now the rookie, his first senior competition, and we've been impressed, have we not been, with the way Sean Townsend has been able to help out his team?
Actually, the Americans have a number of young kids that are coming up that seem to be able to deal with the pressure very, very well. We saw it last year with Jason Gatson, and who is now injured. Sean's a little bit a look-alike with Jason, same body style and same big gymnastics like right here. Yes.
You know, it's his first year as a senior, but he won the junior national championships last year.
Very, very aggressive gymnast. Come on, yeah. Big dismount. You know, he has got all the stuff. I asked him what he wanted to be remembered most by when his career is over. He said, I want people to say, yeah, Sean Townsend, he did really hard stuff.
Why are you ending his career already? It's just getting started.
We need it. Let's build, baby. Let's build.
Don Roethlisberger says, let's build. Let's build.
Big, big future ahead of him. He does need to get a little bit cleaner in his gymnastics work, be a little bit more aesthetic, as well as the power and the dynamics. They're all there. He just needs to clean it up a little bit.
Let the fame begin for Sean Townsend. High bar score 9.20. And a green light right now for Zheng Lihui for China. Remember, China coming into this rotation had the lead, and after a rough start on the horse, he's been extremely solid in the next 2 rotations.
And you know, we saw a lot of the double backs. We're going to see them again in this routine. It's become the team move for China.
And he does his in the piked position. Makes it about twice as hard, I'd say. If I had to pick one event in both men's and women's gymnastics where one country is so dominant over everybody else, it would be China on the parallel bars. Another big release right here.
Tim, in 1984, when you guys won the gold medal in LA, what would somebody have done if an athlete climbed on the P-bars and ripped off one of those?
They would have said, what is wrong with this guy? Is he nuts?
But impossible at the time, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Nobody had even really thought of it back then. This event has completely been transformed. Look at this. And see, he lands actually on the top of his arms. Now, he gets 3/10 of a point for doing that, but his shoulders are saying it's not worth it, man.
A 9.5, and as you can see, high fives translate into Chinese.
Come on, Yewki, let's go. You can do it.
That's his dad, Yewki. You can do it. Sound familiar?
Great motivator.
This is a great event for Yewki.
Again, we're going to see those clean lines carried through to the high bar, just like we saw from him on the P-bars.
But you'll also see some big gymnastics. That's what was lacking in the parallel bar routine. Not here. He'll do 2 Kovacs right here. Very, very nice. He's not done. Second one's always a little tougher.
You are. Yes.
That one looked easier, actually.
No problem.
Finish it up. Finish it up. Come on. Come on.
Dismount, double twisting, double layout.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Great exercise.
Good job. That's what we needed. That's what we needed, buddy.
Dad likes it. When we come back, we'll find out if his son has put the United States back in front. Back in Knoxville, Tennessee, Yewki Tomita score on the high bar, 9.30. Whether it changes the American status or